Hello there, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Donkcast. We're all here today. We've got plenty of stuff to talk about. It's been a really, really good week for Pokemon. Say hello, everybody.
Hey.
Hey.
Yep.
Just me that was excited.
Yeah,
then,
you're just
that
the
was- So yeah, we have awesome news today. Team Up pre-release promos are out. The set list isn't been 100% confirmed yet, so we're not going to talk about that until later on. I don't know. We've got League Cup that two of us went to. We're going to deep dive into that. And yeah, we're going to look forward to the pre-release. It's coming next weekend. Super, super excited about it. This is Monday. It's going to be a long, long week. But yeah, how's your guys' week's been? How's it been? What's been happening?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Just absolutely nothing. Everyone goes whisper quiet. So
Yeah, that was.
zero
We'll
things
get
happen.
there. We'll get there.
We had
It's still a Monday.
we had fun in Dundee yesterday. That was good.
We did. Yeah, I'm still feeling it.
Me too.
I was rough today at work, man. That was a
Aye.
long day.
It was
Yeah.
a long day. I was exactly the same. I was very tired, but still pretty pleased as well.
Yeah, the two of us managed to get top four. We'll do a deep dive
Yeah.
on our stuff later, but yeah, the two of us managed top four, which we are ecstatic about. I did put a little post out on Twitter last night just to with the whole me sheet and all that. It was quite exciting. Got quite excited about that. But as Dundee leaves us, we do have pre-release to get hyped for, guys, and if pre-release isn't my favourite time of Pokemon, man, just put me down at that point, because I love pre-release, man. I'm absolutely choking for this new set to come out. We have the pre-release promos, and I'm willing to say this is the best lot of pre-release promos I think we've ever had. I can't think of a better lot.
Yeah, I agree. I can't think of a better collection either.
A better all out. Yes, we got Malamar as a pre-release promo.
You got Malamars, you got Giratina, you got Naganadels, but they were only like 1 or 2 out of the 4.
Yeah,
like, all 4 of these are pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah. Did we get Naganadel? Was Naganadel one?
No, you got Naganadel in the pack with the...
Naganadel was in the pack.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So God knows what we're going to get in the packs, but it's as if they've taken at least 3 of the best cards in this set, as in holo rares, and made them into pre-release promos. And Nidoqueen could come or go, but the other 3, I really think that, I mean, the Wishing Star Jirachi is been tearing it up in Japan. It is literally like a new engine to play the game with. The Charizard is absolutely awesome, little one prize attacker, and Zapdos has literally been the best deck in Japan for like the past couple of months since it came out, with numerous partners. It is a phenomenal card, and the fact that we're getting that in the pre-release kits is amazing, because there's a really good chance there'll be a non-holo rare in there as well. It would not shock me if the Zapdos pack came with a Zapdos and a non-holo rare Zapdos as well.
That would be pretty awesome.
It would not shock me.
Yeah.
Maybe not the Jirachi. I'm not sure if they'll do it with that as well. I would love that, but it would not shock me at all if they did that with the Zapdos. We've seen it before with lots of the different ones.
Definitely. If you end pre-release with 2 Zapdos, then you're pretty happy with that. They go straight into Pikachu Zekrom and stuff like that.
Yep.
It's worth pointing out, like, as quite a few people have said, and I think like the one that I've heard kind of standing on this soapbox the most has been Wassy and PTCG Radio, talking about how Zapdos was the best deck in Japan with Jolteon and Jirachi and things like that, in a format that didn't have tag teams. But now I suppose it's going to get paired with Pikachu Zekrom, so it's still got a really relevant place.
Definitely.
I'm pretty excited for that one.
Definitely. It's definitely like a solid one price attacker. Even like I guess like in a format with tag teams, yeah, whatever. But like as a Shrine of Punishment deck, like Zapdos is really, really nice.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that the big GXs are really going to take a while to build up the energy to take easy knockouts on these little one prize Pokemon. They're going to have to do a lot of work to do it. Like, I like it, man. I think it's a really, really good card. Zapdos with the Assault Thunder. ability. We have talked about it on the channel before, but for those who don't know, 1 lightning energy. This attack does 10 damage plus, and if this Pokemon became your active Pokemon this turn, it'll do an extra 70 damage, and it's not affected by weakness. Now, it's like 80 damage, which doesn't sound all that fantastic, but when you consider things like Choice Band and Electro Powers, you're doing a lot of damage with this thing if you really, really want to. And even if you're not, you're knocking out every basic, or every basic evolving Pokemon, I should say, that I can think of off the top of my head. Like 80 damage is knocking out Zoroas, Vulpix, Mudkips, Ralts, and that's just from my deck at the weekend.
Poipole.
Poipoles, yeah. As soon as I went through there, I was like, "That's yep." I played all of those, yeah.
Cosmog.
But you know what I mean? Look, that's a really, really good number to just be thrown out there. Turn 1 of the game, and it's really going to hinder setups. It's just a really, really nice card, and man, like these are really good pre-release kits.
In some ways, this could be the kind of poster boy of the channel, because think about your opponent goes, they start a lone Zorua, draw pass, and then you Zapdos off the bench and donk them.
Just donk them, yeah, man, definitely.
It could become our signature card.
The only thing that's
logo.
The only thing that's gotten about Zapdos is that it has 2 retreat cost. If that had 1 retreat cost, it would just be even better. Because you could just give it a little skateboard and just rock out with that, man. I love this card, and I think it's definitely my favourite out of the 4. I'm not going to be sad to see Jirachi in my pack or a Charizard, because that is just money. But the Zapdos is definitely the one I kind of hope to pull.
From a playing perspective, 100% Zapdos for me as well. Playing after the pre-release, Zapdos could still be pretty good in pre-release, but it's that little bit harder to do the switching when you don't have Guzmas, and you're not going to have Switch itself most likely, and all these other kind of things. But for playing after, definitely. But I want the Charizard for the money, like you said. I want to pull a Charizard and pay for my pre-release with it.
For kind of rough stating, the Evolutions pre-release had a Charizard in it as well, and I sold one of them for 70 quid, like a few days after pre-release.
There you go.
I got 2 of them that day, and was willing to trade one of them for like the Gyarados one, because I didn't have the Gyarados. That was the only one I didn't have. And people were denying me the trade. They were like, "Nah, it's fine, man. Like, I just want to keep the one that I got." And I was like, "Fair enough, that's fine." And then I went home and checked the price on eBay, and I was like, "Holy, what? No, it's not." I think that it was so expensive simply because it was an Evolutions reprint.
Oh, definitely. That was a factor.
Because it was like the base set Charizard, basically. Like that is a big deal. But this Charizard is really nice artwork. It's playable.
Yeah, that's the key here.
Definitely something. It's a playable Charizard, which is something we've not seen. And Christ knows, I don't ever remember there being a very playable Charizard.
Like, not only is it playable, it's being played by Shintaro Ito, former world champion. You know,
it's a very, very good card. So the ability Addicting Drive. Once during your turn before you attack, you may put 2 damage counters on this Pokemon. That's not a big deal. You don't need to run Potion. If you do, search your deck for up to 2. If you do, search your deck for up to 2 Fire Energy cards. Attach them to this Pokemon. Then shuffle your deck.
Yeah, you need to push it because it's only got 150 hit points. And if you take damage, then Charizard can just do 130 to it, and it'll get knocked out.
That's it. See?
You got to run Potion for the mirror.
So the attack to pair with this is Continuous Blaze Ball, 30 damage plus. Discard all fire energy from this Pokemon. This attack does 50 more damage for each card you discarded in this way. Works perfectly with its ability to just be able to attack that turn. Attach a card, another energy from hand, you're doing 180 damage. Attach a Choice Band on top of that, you're doing 210 damage, knocking out a Zoroark. Really, 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 really perfect numbers. Hitting 180 in this game is kind of key. If you can hit 180, you can probably be a decent deck. And this is a decent little engine, man. Like, being able to stream these pretty I think you could probably stream these pretty well because you're not worried too much about getting like energy onto the field. You're thinning your own deck. You can rescue stretcher it back. I've seen it being played with a Jirachi engine. That's the only way I've seen this deck run so far. I think it was Rare Candy that put up the deck list for it. It was really, really cool. Which I'll talk about just in a little bit when like we get more into Jirachi, but like there is a solid base for this as a one prize deck without playing things like Lele and stuff like that. And
Definitely.
if you force your opponent to do essentially 130 damage every turn, that's a pretty decent amount of damage to have to do every turn. Something like other one prize decks are kind of gonna struggle to do that, like things like Baby Buzzwole. It sets itself up as being a pretty decent little shrine deck. And I could definitely see some people winning tournaments with this thing.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think it has an interesting place. Obviously, being a stage 2 is a little bit of an issue, and you kind of have the question of do you play it with Ninetales and things like that, which takes it out of the shrine variant. Maybe there's 2 versions to some degree. The card that I think makes it really, really interesting is Victini Prism.
Yes.
The synergy with Victini Prism is just terrific.
It's fantastic. Yeah, Victini Prism's going to recycle all those energy for you and do a massive attack like once per game, or maybe not once per game, but like likely once per game. So yeah, definitely. We were talking about that car riding away home last night was Victini Prism with Charizard, and it was like, here, that would work.
Aye, that would be awesome. And people are, as you say, people are going to want it because it's Charizard. Yes. You know, like everybody loves Charizard. Even like, you know, like the hipsters who are like, I hate Pikachu. Pikachu sucks. Like everybody low level likes Pikachu, man. Like you don't like Pokemon and not like Pikachu. It's sort of the same thing with Charizard. He doesn't have to be your favorite Pokemon. Like fair enough if he is. He doesn't have to be. But nobody actively dislikes Charizard.
He's too cool, man.
He is. He's a big dragon that breathes fire. You don't really want more than that.
Yeah, speaking about that Jirachi engine I was talking about earlier, the Jirachi is also one of the promos here, and it was a card that I thought was actually going to be really expensive coming into this format. Ability Wishing Star. If this is your active Pokemon, you may use this ability once during your turn before you attack. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose one trainer card you find there, reveal it, stick it in your hand. This Pokemon is now asleep. So basically you pair this with a skateboard so that you use the ability, go to sleep, and then you can still retreat for free. And the whole key thing is here, as I say, I was seeing it in the Charizard deck. Your Charizard gets knocked out, you promote Jirachi for turn, and then Wishing Star, put it to sleep, get a trainer card from your top 5 cards, and then play it out like that. The other card I did see in this kind of Jirachi engine, if you will, was the Pidgeotto that we're getting in this set as well, that has the Airmail ability, which is very similar to something like an Aggro Bike, but instead of discarding one card, you put it to the bottom of your deck. So you look at 2 cards with Pidgeotto, take one, put it in your hand, put the other one at the bottom of your deck, and then you see another 5 cards with Jirachi. So you're really searching through your deck and getting out just everything you want every turn. It's really, really nice. I definitely think it could be viable in our current meta. Like I really think that this is a good way forward. You're actually such a nice little consistency booster for something like, as I was saying, Charizard, or even the Aerodactyl deck we talked about last week, Ian. The what was it using? It was Mysterious Treasure, Mysterious Fossil. What is it called? Unidentified Fossil.
Unidentified Fossil, yeah. Fossil excavation.
So you were using that to get your fossil stuff out, get your Aerodactyls up and going, your Malamars, your Ultra Balls to get all that sort of stuff. It's really, really nice. Like definitely. There's combinations with this Jirachi that we've not seen yet, and we will definitely see going forward.
I mean, think about the amount of play that Trainer's Mail saw. It was a 4 of in virtually every deck for a while, and this is basically Trainer's Mail +1. Yeah, it's more awkward to use because it's not an item and stuff like that, but the effect of it is still amazing. Apart from in pre-release, it's jank in pre-release because we don't have a skateboard.
That's fine. You're not going to be able to attack every turn in pre-release.
Yeah, but how'd you get it out of the active?
You just let it get knocked out. It's fine.
So you use use its ability once and give up a prize in pre-release.
Well, in pre-release, they do give you some old cards every now and again. They'll give you like some support, some key cards that really help out. It's possible that they
Right.
give you in a skateboard with this.
See if you get Jirachi as your promo, you get a second Jirachi in the pack, and you get a couple of skateboards, man. You're winning pre-release.
I don't know, maybe.
That's insane. That'd be so powerful. In a 40 card deck, you're looking at an eighth of your deck every turn and picking a trainer out of it.
I mean, it's absolutely busted. We'll need to see what's in the pre-release kits, but something tells me it won't be too busted at pre-release. Even with like having one Jirachi, one a skateboard, I don't think it'll be too busted. Because everyone will have it essentially. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole thing. But yeah, really, really nice card. I cannot believe that this is a pre-release promo. I really, really can't. It will keep the cost of them very reasonable. Of course, the pre-release promo will be expensive. These pre-release promos, by the way, are going to all be very expensive, bar possibly the Needle Queen. The Needle Queen, I'm very kind of on the fence of, but the three of them are going that we've just talked about are going to be expensive pre-release promos. We're looking at least 10 quid each. The Charizard obviously will be a lot more expensive. I wouldn't be surprised if it went upwards of like 30, 40 quid.
See, in my head, I had about 25 as being a decent price to sell the Charizard at. If you're getting more than that, then you're doing really well.
I definitely think so, yeah. But if your locals has extra pre-release kits and you've got some money to put down on it, I wouldn't obviously recommend it because I don't come to me if you lose your money, but I don't think it's a bad idea. Put it that way. I think that you're gonna be in with a very, very good chance of getting some money back on these kits. You know, when you consider they cost like 25 quid, the packs alone add up to a fair amount, and these promos are all going to throw that over the £25 mark, I think. Pre-release kits for me, they're always very good value. I always find I get a real good value out of it. I love the day of the tournament. Pre-release tournaments are always so much fun for me because everyone's on level footing. Everyone, brand new players, veteran players, it doesn't matter. Returning players, it's all brilliant because everyone's got the exact same play set of stuff that they can work from, and I really, really like that. It just freshens it up and it gives people a chance. Christ, there was was it Dickie last pre-release ran through all three of us, me, you, and Jacob, and like that's not going to happen on a regular night. Sorry, Dickie, it's not, but it happens at pre-release, and that is a lot of fun. It makes a lot of sense that bring new players and returning players and all that to these tournaments because it's just such a laugh.
I mean, we were talking about that yesterday as well. It's really good for newer players who maybe aren't as experienced or don't have as big a pool of cards to build decks from and stuff like that, to have that kind of level playing field. And I remember like the first time I won a pre-release tournament, I think it was only like the second time I'd really played Pokemon properly. and you felt like you feel really good about doing it and stuff like that. And it's, as you say, man, it's just so much fun, and it's nice to play in that kind of relaxed atmosphere where everyone's excited, everyone's just having a good time, whether you win or lose, It's all just everybody smiling and hoping to build good cards.
My first pre-release, I used a Ninja Boy against Jacob to pick up my Oshawott that had 2 energy on it and a Volcanion EX. Attach another energy, steam up and win.
I'm pretty sure I flipped the table at that point. Did I?
It was literally like I hadn't played before, so I was like, hold on, can I do this? And Jacob was like, I think you can. I'm going to ask Sven.
I hope you can.
I'm going to ask. Yeah. I'm going to ask Sven, but I'm pretty sure you can. And Sven was like, yup. And I was like, okay, let's go ahead.
Oh, poor Jacob.
Yeah.
Godslayer Oshawott, man. Those Oshawotts did me well that day. The last but not least, we'll quickly mention Needle Queen before we wrap up the talk about this. Needle Queen's, it's not an awful Pokemon. It definitely has a deck. Whether it's a particularly good deck, I'm not 100% sure. Ability Mother Call. Once during your turn before you attack, search your deck for a Pokemon, except Pokemon GX and EX. Reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your deck. really nice little ability, being able to search out the deck. We've seen cards doing this, like very recently with like Grovyle, for example. But this is any Pokemon except GX and EX. So it's not limited to type. It's really, really nice. I do like that. We were talking earlier just before we come on about Meganium decks and how that this could be quite good in it. Even just to search out Pokemon, that would be really, really nice. To start your, getting your evolutions up. And the attack for 3 colorless energy, Power Lariat, 10 plus damage. This attack does 50 more damage for each evolution Pokemon on your bench. So again, going back to that Meganium box mindset, which I will talk about very, very soon again. But that going back to that mindset, this is a really good card for that deck. The only thing that does kind of put me off it is the 3 colorless energy cost is kind of bad. If this was a DCE or maybe even 2 psychic, then you could counter energy it. That might be a bit better, but like 3 energy is really hard to get on in that archetype. I can't think of a way to do it other than Super Boost or Malamar, and it tends not to play Malamar in the stage 2 box. I don't know. Like, I do see it having some sort of play, and maybe it is just Nidoqueen Malamar. Maybe that is what the deck is, but then it's a stage 1 and a stage 2. It's so close to being really, really good.
I think you're kind of right on the if you want to use Nidoqueen as the focus of the deck, Malamar is a natural partner, and you can hit some good numbers with it as well. I mean, you can put in something like a Alola Ninetales to search out the rare candies to get the Nidoqueen going. You can play things like counter gain to help reduce the cost of the attack. It's a good counter if Buzzwole becomes really popular again. In the Meganium deck you were talking about, it's definitely more of a support Pokemon, and if anybody knows that deck, it's Al, because he was playing it the other week. So what do you think of Nidoqueen? Would you be putting it in?
I'd probably do something stupid, like Nidoqueen Vikavolt.
What? Nidoqueen Vikavolt. Yeah, okay.
Well, that could work.
The new Vikavolt from Dark Order, not Dark Order, Night Unison, or the one
like the good one that accelerates energy.
No, the good thing from Night Unison's the Charger Bug.
The Charger Bug, yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, he's outrageous.
Is he's 2 lightning energy attached to any Pokemon or only lightning Pokemon?
It's only Vikavolt.
All right, I'm totally confused. Oh, I'm thinking of the old Electrode.
The Charger Bug is it's a double lightning attach for. Is it right? I was confused by this. Is it like a kind of Trumbeak style ability where you just play it, or is it you need to evolve up to make it happen?
I think it comes out of your hand.
Yeah, I think it's played from hand as well.
Look it up.
And these hand ability Pokemon are getting really, really cool. Like the Trumbeak was very, very, very good, and like this is, if that's right, that's awesome. I'm trying to search for it now as I talk, but yeah.
You can attach it from your hand to your Vikavolt or Vikavolt GX.
Is Vikavolt
what GX? I don't know is if you can then like multi-switch it to a different Pokemon.
Yeah, this is what I thought as well. It doesn't say it only provides energy to that Pokemon. It says you may attach it to Vikavolt or Vikavolt GX. So can you surely you can just multi-switch it?
Yeah. Well, has this card been officially translated yet? Or are these like independent translations?
I think it's still the Pokemon.
Fair enough. So obviously take the exact wording with a pinch of salt, but by that wording it sounds like you could multi-switch it.
Yeah.
Which could make for some nuts plays in something like Vika Ray.
That would also mean you could use Tapu Koko GX's ability to take it as well, because that I'm sure used to be able to get Electrode.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So it would mean that you could still just bump that energy as well. But yeah, we're going down a rabbit hole here. Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen, definitely the short straw. If you get Nidoqueen, I feel as if you could have gotten better. I don't think you've got a particularly bad card. I feel as if you've got a standard pre-release promo. Like You know what I mean? Like, if you got this in the last set, you'd be like, fine, sure, whatever. Like that's what I get. Like stuff like the Delcatty that we've seen in the last one was like, sure, whatever. Like Kyogre, there's been so many of them in the sets before, like that have been like, and there's been one really, really good one that everybody wanted. And this one, I feel as if there's really 2, 3 if you want to build the Charizard deck or like money. Like, yeah, really, really good pre-release promos, guys.
So that means everybody's getting Nidoqueen, basically. That's the conclusion we draw here. All 4 of us are going to get Nidoqueen.
We will tell you all next week. But yeah, moving on. We did go to a tournament this weekend, mate, and it went well. 5 rounds. We'll go through each round, I think, just to like let Al and Jacob know what we actually experienced, because we haven't actually told these guys everything that we did yet. So this is the first time we've actually had the chance to talk. So yeah, round 1. What was your round 1 matchup?
Start off. Like, tell us what you're actually playing.
That's a good idea.
That's boring. We keep the mystery.
Everyone should have to guess based off our wins and losses.
Can I guess?
I think, Al, what do you think we were playing? So I'm pretty sure Jacob knows.
Well, you were playing Blacephalon.
Obviously.
Was playing some stupid weirdo deck.
Harsh.
Some stupid what?
Weirdo deck.
Yeah.
See, when Al's calling your deck a weirdo deck,
That's
you know
harsh.
something's gone really wrong.
So my deck was Gardevoir.
Oh, there you go.
Which I wouldn't think was that weird.
It's a little bit weird.
My good personal friend Jimmy Pendarvis really thought that it was the best deck to win Roanoke with, so I just copied his list.
Friend of the channel, Jimmy. Yeah, he gave you a wee bit of personal advice, I seem to remember, just before, about how to deal with baby hoopers and the like.
He did. Because I was hating my life. Kept losing to them. So
I was playing
Blacephalon, pretty standard Blacephalon list.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nothing. No techie cards in there, was there?
No, I wasn't playing the Alolan Muck or anything like that.
No.
I'm still not convinced it would have helped me that much, really.
So, round 1 matchup.
So round 1, I was paired against someone who we've all played before, apart from maybe Al. I don't know if Al's played this guy. He seems to be a local at the Dundee Cups. And on the way in the car up, I said to you, I would love to play that Alan guy if he's playing Metagross, and he was. So he's a lovely guy, and he took it on the chin like a champ and all that stuff. But in our first game, I went first. I started setting up Poipoles in the bench. I was attaching him active Blacephalon and all that stuff. He managed to get 4 Beldum out on turn 1. So I'm thinking, well, he's got some chance here. He didn't evolve any of the Beldum. He didn't even get a Metang. And I just kept knocking out Beldums until game 2. And then in game 2, he started Lone Beldum, pass. I started Blacephalon, attach, pass back, or burst GX, pass, and went back. He had nothing else, passed back, and then I donked him on turn 2. And his exact words were, "Why do you always donk me?" Because John had done it before as well. And I think, Jacob, did you maybe once? I can't remember.
Not the last one we were at, but the time before that. I think he was actually in Settlers. I donked him then. Because the one time he came to Settlers, and I donked him with, I want to say Malamar or something. Yeah.
Oh God.
So Al, have you donked him?
Oh, I'm not sure I've played him.
See, now this is the initiation. This is how you get into the club.
That's
I have to get the donk.
Yeah.
That's that elusive donk.
But like, so really, I played against Beldum. And fair play to him. He took it on the chin. He shook my hand and all that other kind of stuff. He knew it was a bad matchup, and he is a really nice guy. And if he's listening, shout out to him, because he is a really nice dude.
My first round matchup was a lot more stressful than that.
I had that game done in about 10 minutes. He went away and got food and all that stuff.
Oh God, man. What were you going to say there, Jacob? Sorry, I kind of cut you off there.
Yeah, no, sorry. The last time I played him, when we went to Dundee, I echoed him for, I don't know, 25
Oh,
turns.
You did, didn't you?
And
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
he sat with his
That was the
basic.
That was the guy when I went to Dundee last. Sorry, Alan, man, we were just totally ragging you here. So he kind of, let's say stupidly, right? I feel bad saying that, but he kind of stupidly benched 2 Beldams against my spread deck. And I was like, okay. Then he just was able to he had game, but he was like just kind of showing off almost. Like he was just like, oh, I've got these Beldams, might as well put them down. And then like passed over to me, and I was like, okay, dropped my Fairy Lily, attached a counter energy, and then just moved all the damage counters on the board and just knocked out the 2 Beldams for game. And he was like, okay, that was dumb. Let's just like get on a game 2. We'll play a little bit quick, or like wait to play. And then I was like, right. And then I donked him with my Weavile. The first turn I got to attack, I just I win, and he was like, no.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
brutal.
Dude, man.
Right, so your round 1 matchup then?
My round 1 matchup was a lot harder than yours. My round 1 matchup was against Dominic, who is we profiled one of his decks on the channel before. That there's a Zinro deck that he won a League Cup with, and his deck this time put Al to shame. I'll tell you that. It was Meganium and Friends. He explained to me that it had 6 stage 2s in it, and the deck changed type about 4 times during the course of play. It started out as Meganium Swampert, as most do, and then there was a Solgaleo, and I was like, okay, the energy accelerating one, and I was like, right, yeah, why is that there? Because in my head I'm thinking this is Greninja, but it wasn't Greninja. There was no Greninja there, and I was like, okay, this is really strange. And then, so I knocked that out. That was fine. And then Decidueye came down, and I was like, okay. Started sniping me and stuff. And then a baby Coco came down and started spreading, and I was like, what is going on here? What is he playing? And then almost too late, I went, what the hell does that Porygon Z do? Like, he didn't have it out yet. I didn't ever see a Porygon or a Porygon Z, and I was just like, hold on, there's a Porygon Z that devolves. What the hell does that do? And sure enough, that was his plan. He was going to spread a little amount of damage and then just devolve everything on my side of the field. And I was like, holy crap, this is really, really close. And so the turn that won me the game, I had to super boost. I had to get I had to Twilight all my energies, my Guzma's back. Guzma won me the game. So my idea was I'll power draw out my entire deck until I hit max potion. So I had 0 cards left in deck. I had to pay retreat on my Swampert, which cost me 2 energies. Then I had to max potion my Gardevoir, which cost me another 6 energies. And then Secret Spring after the max potion, and then Twilight to get all my energies back and my Guzmas and my max potion. And then I was able to, if I was able to power draw twice and hit the Guzma, which I've recycled 2 of, so I should have been fine, I would then be able to Guzma up something and win the game. It was utterly insane. And I said to him after the round 1, I was like, I'm pretty sure I know what you're doing, and I'm not happy about it. And then game 2 didn't complete. We ran out of time. And what was even worse was we got to time, and he had like 6 prizes to take. And he said to me, I said to him, like, you know, can you win in the 2 turns, or do you want to just like agree that this is going to be a draw? And he was like, no, play it out. I think I might be able to do this. And I was like, no, you cannot. No, you cannot. This is not beating me today. I'm not taking a draw at this. So I Guzma'd up something awkward. I used a max potion, and then I passed on. I didn't even attack him. I left 0 damage on his board, so he couldn't even ace a roller. I was like, nope. And yeah, he agreed after that. And then after that, he actually showed me. He put a little card face down in front of me and said, don't tell anyone I picked up. It was Porygon Z. I was like, sure enough, I was right. But yeah, Porygon Z and Meganium box, disgusting. That was what I dealt with round 1 while Ian was coasting to victory. It was yeah, and then round 2.
Round 2,
Round 2.
I played another really lovely guy called George, who I think you played at the last cup as well as I did. He's playing Sylveon.
Yes.
So he's playing Sylveon Denial, which is a matchup that I wasn't too worried about. I feel like I can do that okay. So he had the Sylveon in the active. He actually started Eevee, attached the Fairy Energy, and missed the Energy Evolution. At which point I was like, okay, this is getting interesting. I on my turn going second, I Marshadowed him, hoping that he wouldn't find energy or whatever. He did. He managed to get the Sylveon up. It wasn't that big a deal. I was sitting with Naganados on the bench. They were charging up. All I was waiting on was energy switch. I was waiting on it for about 6 times, and eventually I got it. Switched up to the Blacephalon, and then because he couldn't take away my energy enough. If the deck plays 17 energy, couldn't take it away enough to really stop it, and then energy switch knocked it out. So I won game 1. Game 2, he altered his strategy a wee bit, and it was working really nicely because those decks play the Lucamine loop where they keep bringing back like Plumeria and stuff like that. So he was using it to bring back Mount Lanakila. So he was Guzman up my Marshadow, leaving it in the active with Mount Lanakila. So I would always have to attach 2 energy to retreat it. Outside of like a Guzma or whatever, he did bench a second Sylveon, and I was able to Guzma knock out with Blacephalon to put myself down to 4 prizes at one point. And he was recycling Mars, so discard a card at random and you draw 2. So he definitely had the right kind of strategy. Eventually, I would have decked out. Probably before he did, but then he was going to be playing judges and things like that. So it would have been tight in terms of who decked out, but the match would have to have gone on about another hour for that to have happened at that point. Because I was sitting quite happily just drawing, passing, going, there's 10 minutes in the clock, you can't take 6 prizes.
No.
I'm pretty comfortable. So it wasn't a nice matchup, particularly playing Stall never is. Anybody who's listened to this before
win the
knows,
first one, you're pretty happy though.
that's it. Like everybody knows how much we hate Stall, but like once I won that first one, I was like, right, okay, I don't see how you can do this enough. And I was okay with that. So that's kind of how round 2 went for me. Yourself?
Round 2 was actually pretty decent for me. It was against Blacephalon, which going into the tournament I was kind of wary of. I don't like playing against Blacephalon with my Guardy deck, but I know how to beat it. So I play the Alola Muck. I've got that to turn off your Marshadows, and I do play. So basically, the play I have to go for is take knockouts with Swampert and do a Sublimation GX at some point in the game. That is my total thing, and just knock out 3 Blacephalon is really the best way I can go about it. If I can knock out Poipoles at the start of the game, it's fine, but it puts me in that awkward prizes. I'm really just doing that to slow my opponent down. I don't think it's ever going to get to the point where I win via taking Poipole, unless I can Guzma something and take a single prize. It's very rare that happens though. So I knew my strategy going into it. Emma that I played wasn't really able to counter me, really. She had, I think one of her games, she had really bad prizes. I think she had prized like 2 Poipoles or something like that, and I knocked out one right at the start of the game as well. So that wasn't very good for her. I think that was her game 2. And, it was just one of those games. I did well and was pretty happy with it, but it was fairly standard as the matchup goes. I do feel that Blacephalon is slightly favoured against the Gardevoir deck, but it's maybe down to experience. I've played a lot of that matchup recently because that seems to be all I get drawn against on PTCGO. And when your buddy plays nothing but Cephalon, you tend to play it every now and again. So, yeah, there is that as well. So I have played against Blacephalon plenty, and I would do plenty more times in the day.
But you overcame it because you, as you say, you kind of struggled it, but in the end you had a winning record against Blacephalon, so it's not too bad.
Nah, it's not that bad.
You know what I mean? We'll take that.
It's fine. What was your round 3, dude?
Round 3, I was playing Michael, who he's we know Michael. He's a nice guy. He's very quiet. He's a very good player, though. He made day 2 at Harrogate, the recent regionals and things like that. And he was playing a deck that I didn't really want to see, Zoroark Weavile. I don't really mind seeing the Zoroark. I'm okay against that, but the Weavile scares me. And I won the first game. And I won it because I was very careful with my Naganedos. I wasn't giving them one-shots with the Weaviles and things like that. I was careful when I played my Marshadows, etc. Game 2, I started the Marshadow. And as soon as I started the Marshadow, I knew that 50 damage was going to come back and bite me, and it did. If I could have started Blacephalon or Poipole or anything but that didn't put that extra 50 damage from the Weavile on the board, it would have made a difference there. But I got down to 2 prizes. I had game in hand the following turn, and he needed to hit Energy Weavile or something to win, and he got it. Fair enough. It's a deck that should probably beat mine anyway. And then in game 3, I managed to set up. He didn't really. I Marshadowed them into some bad hands. I kind of timed the Marshadows pretty carefully. At points, he was attacking with Zoroas, with Choice Bands, and ramming for 50 and stuff like that into Blacephalons. He was just struggling to do anything really at that point. And I managed to take game 3 and win the matchup, which I was super happy about. Not just because I bet a really good player, but because it was a matchup that I feel like I'm probably unfavoured against and most of the time would lose.
So that put you to 3-0.
Yeah.
Happy days. I lost my round 3, and it was against Zoroark, Lycanroc, old favourite. Everybody's played it. Everybody's played against it. It was a fairly standard Zoroark Lycanroc deck. It played Bodybuilding Dumbbells, which I don't know if that's kind of standard for that deck now, but that's part of the problem. I don't really know that deck all that well going into it. It's one of those decks that was great a while ago and played a lot of it then. And then I didn't really play it for a while, and then suddenly there's a lot of new toys for Zoroark Lycanroc. It started playing the Weavile, it's got the Ditto, it's just really, really hard for my deck to overcome. Zoroark is like fine when you're playing the Guardy, but it's the Lycanrocs that really tear you apart. The GX will take a knockout, then suddenly you need to play a lot of abilities down. They've got that tech Weavile to take a knockout. Really tough. And I lost 2 games straight. Is what it is. I was just like, right, if I can, my plan was win 1, draw 1, win 2, I'll be fine, like something along those lines. So yeah, it was what it was. I got absolutely steamrolled, man. It wasn't pretty. Yeah,
tough match.
It was. Round 4.
Round 4, I got paired against the guy who beat you in round 3, playing Lycanroc, etc. And we ID'd, thinking that an ID there put us both in 10 points. An ID in round 5 would have put us both in 11, so we were reasonably confident that we would both get in at 11.
Happy with that. Yeah, I think that's pretty sound logic.
I was okay with that.
My round 5 was round 4, so I was against B Victoria, one of our friends from Settlers, and she was playing, you guessed it, Blacephalon, second of the day. She won game 1. I had a crucial whiff at one point. I can't remember what I whiffed. I feel as if it was like energy. I think I needed DC or something like that. But I think I'd already lost 2 DCs. I can't remember exactly what happened, but I ended up whiffing it, and she took the win. Game 2, I managed to just execute my strategy that I talked about from game 2. Get the Swamperts out, get the the Ninetales. At some point, use the Ninetales GX attack and then build up a Guardy for safety. And that's exactly what I did. Got that rocking, and then game 3, I think I actually got Solgaleo up in that game. Solgaleo's not awful to get up in the Blacephalon matchup if you can easily do it. Early it can pressure by taking knockouts on Poipoles and maybe a Marshadow, but it's also really, really nice because it forces your opponent to waste 5 energy knocking it out, which it doesn't have to do when it's knocking out stuff like Swamperts and Ninetales. So it's really, really nice to just be like, you need 5 energy to knock me out here. Even something like Beast Energy is not going to get you there. Choice Band on its own, like either or won't get you there. You need both. So it forces a lot out of the Blacephalon player in that state. But I ended up winning the game. You were actually watching most of that game 3.
Yeah.
And I feel as if I had a pretty dominant board state throughout.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I was
definitely.
pretty happy with the way that game went.
Definitely. I think there was a combination of you played pretty well, getting everything set up and all that stuff, and Victoria didn't seem to get too much at the right time. She missed her B-string turns and that kind of thing. But in all honesty, I don't know how much difference they would have made. She didn't have Naganadels on board and stuff. And
No,
yeah,
sure.
I think you just set up really, really well. You'd taken the knockouts at the right times and just put her too far behind.
Definitely, man. Definitely. It was good. I actually really I was happy with how that game went. As I say, Solgaleo really helped out, and just the dominant board state. I don't know how much you heard. My internet seems to keep cutting out, but I had a bit of a dominant board state throughout that match, and I was pretty happy with it. The game 3.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that put me at 3-1, and we went into round 5.
Yep. Who'd you play in round 5?
Who did you play in round 5?
You.
You, aye. So Ian and I just straight ID'd that one. Not going to mess about. We're not going to try and put each other out of the tournament at the end of the day. ID'd, and we were lucky that we managed to both get into the top 4. And after waiting for like an hour for top 4 to start, we both got absolutely mollywopped out of the tournament.
Pretty much.
That was more or less it. I played against Granville, the top 4, and game 1 prized both my Cosmog and my Solgaleo. Game 2 prized my Alolan Muck, both of which really, really help out in that matchup. And yeah, I don't even want to talk about it. It was really, really sad.
Those one prize or prize attacking decks are just difficult for our kind of decks to deal with, really. Yeah. So yeah, as you say, you're playing Granville. I was playing against Lost March. Yeah. Which I managed to win the first game, and the key to winning that was I was going second, so I got the Burst GX off, and I was able to take a knockout with the Blacephalon to put myself to 4 prizes before he knocked out my Blacephalon to put him to 4. So then I was able to get the B-string turns, and at that point I was setting up Naganadels, so that when I instigated the prize trade, and no matter what he did, I just needed to keep the Naganadels rolling, which I could do. Game 2, I started really badly. I couldn't get things set up, etc. He did fine. He kind of got himself set up. I think I got down to 2 prizes in that game, but he was just able to take the last few. Game 3, I was kind of like, right, okay, I've got a chance at this, and we were getting there. But the turn that really killed it, on his turn 1, he managed to set up 3 Hoppips on the bench, and then on his turn 2, at the end of his turn 1, he had, I think, 2 Pokemon in the Lost Zone, 2 Trumbeaks, or maybe a Lost Blender or something. And by the end of his turn 2, he had 9, because he Marshadowed, and of the 4 cards route, got an Elms, which got him into 3 Skiploom, 3 Jumpluff. Those 6 went in. He got a Trumbeak off a Timer Ball or something, which put him at 9. 9 times 20 is 180, so he's able to one-shot my Blacephalon that I had in the active before I could take the second prize. So at that point, I'm sitting on 5 prizes, he's sitting on 4, and that was it. I didn't play the Alolan Muck, which I know you're supposed to play for these kinds of matchups. I'm not convinced it helps you that much against Granville.
Yeah.
I don't buy into that.
Well,
Sorry,
I
go ahead.
did find a lot of help from the Lolamuck versus Granville, and I get that it's different deck, but it was the same kind of idea. By shutting off both of his Oranguru, he was really forced to play a little bit slower. He was never punished. That was the only problem I had, was that he just didn't get punished. He at one point, that to like put it out there, he was really, really good player. He got day 2 at Harrogate, and it was the deck that he played Granville at the tournament as well. So like I know he knows what he was doing. Do you know what I mean? But he made a misplay. He went rescue stretcher for my cargo and went to evolve as a Alolan Ditto, forgetting that I had the Alolan down, and he was like, "Oh God, I can't do that." So then he was just left with this my cargo in hand, and he was like, "Guzma, attack for 30. That's all I can really do." Like, and I was like, "Fine." This means that I could, because I had Guzma in hand, and I was like, "This is fine. I'll Guzma out of this, and then just I will get a couple of turns to really build up some damage on the board, and I might be able to take this game back." Because that was the game I prized Solgaleo, and I thought, right, if I can get through this game and then just get Solgaleo and Alola Muck set up in the next, I'll be absolutely fine. And sure enough, the top card he pulled after that was Mysterious Treasure, and he just discarded it and just won the game. And I was just like, seriously? Like, he was never punished. If that had went a little bit more in my favor, he would have had to take like another 2 turns to get out of that. Because he can get out of it, obviously. He would just like cargo for something he actually needed. Do you know? So, but then I feel as if you've got an even better like out, because you can essentially Marshadow him and then try and get the Alola Muck into play. I know that's kind of hard to do, but do you know what I mean? Like you've got the out to like Marshadow him a couple of times, make sure he's got plenty of cards in his hand, and also have the Alola Muck. I don't know, but
to be honest, I'm thinking the more I've kind of replayed the matchup against Lost March, that he was playing, I think, 3 Marshadows, so maybe turning off the Marshadows would have been key. I'm the thing is, you're only drawn to 4 with a Marshadow, and I was playing 2 myself, so I don't really mind going down to 4 cards in hand in that deck. I feel like I can get out of it more often than not without too much hassle. I did try the Blacephalon list with a Muck in it a few weeks back, and I found that I wasn't using it. I found that it wasn't particularly useful, but I wasn't playing Granbull and I wasn't playing Lost March. So I think I'm going to make the changes online and give it a wee go with the Muck in there, and see if maybe second time around I can see the differences. What I really need to do is actually play it against Lost March and Granbull. I think I've played Blacephalon twice against Granbull online. 1-1, lost 1. I think I played it twice against Lost March. 1-1, lost 1. Both times without the Muck in deck. Just know that matchup a wee bit better. The thing is, like the next cup we go to, who knows what people are going to play. Maybe the Muck, like the Muck would have done nothing for me the whole rest of the day. So maybe sacrificing a tiny bit of consistency for the Muck would have been better because it helped me there. But maybe I'd have drawn it at the wrong time early in the day. It's awkward. I need to try it with.
Listen, we can but go by how we did on the day and what actually happened. And what actually happened is we both got top 4. We were 1 win each away from it being an all Donk final, and that is the dream right there.
Absolutely,
it'll happen at some point, lads.
But I mean, the other side of that is, like, I was 1 game up against Lost March. If I'd had won it, knowing I would have played Granbull, at 99% sure I would have absolutely smoked by Granbull. So if my opponent, if the guy who beat you was playing like Rayquaza or Sylveon, and I had lost, I'd have been gutted because I'd been like, right, I'm winning this. But against that match, I knew I wasn't going to win the whole thing anyway. I wasn't really. It didn't sting as much. I was
gutted, man. I felt as if I matched up pretty well to Granbull, and like even better to Lost March. I was like, this could be really, really good. Like honestly, like if you had won, I would have probably like just got absolutely gubbed, because I don't think I've beat you playing Blacephalon yet with my Swampert deck, and it is really, really like. I really think that it's a quite favoured matchup for Blacephalon. It just sets up so well, but as I say, we can't know. We did as best we could, so
absolutely. And listen, top 4, we'll happily take that. That's a good achievement in itself. So
definitely, man.
I'm certainly not complaining about that.
Definitely. Well, I think we're kind of getting along time wise. Quickly before we go, what are we hoping for from pre-release, guys? Al, Jacob, we've not heard from you in a while.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Eevee Snorlax.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we know.
So what? Eevee,
just like
Snorlax,
4
Flurry,
Jirachis,
Energy.
that'll be fine.
Say that again, Al.
Just like 4 Jirachis, that'll be fine.
Just 4 Jirachis,
Yeah, that was setting up.
Like, there's definitely use for that for you, Al.
I want tag teams, man. That's like, not to play in the tournament necessarily. If you pull them, then you probably play them. But
yeah,
I'm just wanting to start hit the ground running with these tag teams and then kind of see where we go with it from that.
Pikachu, Zekrom, all the energy. See what happens.
But see, like the thing is though, like people have done things like that in the past with Guzzlord and Buzzwolves and stuff like that. That can't be fun.
No,
you know what I mean, pre-release is about fun. So by all means, put your GX in there if you get one. Actually, have other things to do as well. Don't try hard a pre-release.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and listen to our old video because I'm pretty sure the last time we talked about pre-release, you said you need to try hard it.
Well,
it's all about the win.
Yeah,
well,
but
he's grown since then.
Yeah, I've matured in my old age now, and realised that Pokemon can be fun. It's not always about winning in a pre-release format.
And as we mature, our relationship matures with us.
Exactly.
Oh man, I must admit, I'm kind of with you, and I kind of want to just get all the shiny tag teams as soon as possible. Apart from that, Jirachis, Zapdoses.
Let's open a bunch of Cynthias. That'll be good. That's always useful.
Are there any major trainers coming out in this one?
There's nothing
that hasn't been mentioned.
Out in my head. Erica's Hospitality.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
I wouldn't mind one of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to quickly jump onto Limitless because they've got the translations for the last couple of sets, and I'll have a bit of a look and see if there's anything that jumps out. Dark Order was the first one. So Andros GX, Tapu Koko Prism Star would be really nice.
Yes, definitely want to get one of those.
What else did we get?
Wonder Labyrinth. That's what I want.
Wonder Labyrinth, yeah. Electric Charger is the Electro Power shuffling back card. Flip 2 coins for each head, shuffle an Electro Power from your discard pile into your deck. Really nice. Dangerous Drill's coming out in this one. Nanu's coming out in this one. Black Market Prism Star. Jasmine. All very nice cards.
Mm-hmm.
But as nothing crazy, like we must get these. There's the reprinted Choice Band, which looks really, really cool. It's the Mankey with the Choice Band around its head.
Yeah, that art.
We're getting that.
Cool.
That is an awesome art.
Volkner, Field Blower, Aqua Patch, all getting reprinted.
Oh yeah, Volkner with good art now.
Volkner with really... It's
not
just sexy Volkner.
Yeah, not just the game art on a 3D background.
And then we're getting Viridian Forest is the new stadium card, which is like Energy Search, really, really nice.
That's good. I like
that.
I really like
that. Lavender Town, Bill's Analysis, Sabrina, Brock's Grit, Cynthia getting a reprint in this set apparently. Whether we get that in our set or not, we don't know. As I say, none of this is confirmed. Erica's Hospitality, Pokemon Communication, we're getting that. Judge Whistle, nothing insane trainer wise that I can see.
Yeah, with Choice Band that completely changes the format.
Sexy Choice Band.
It keeps it in after rotation, doesn't it? Choice Band was Guardians. Is that its
Guardians?
first
Yeah.
We're also going to get Fairy Charm, Ultra Beast. Ooh, that's how I beat Blacephalon. Ooh, that's exactly what I need. We're getting Ingo and Emmett. That's a pretty decent one. Look at the top card of your deck, then choose one of the following. Discard your hand and draw 5 cards. Or discard your hand and draw 5 cards from the bottom of your deck. So, pretty decent. It's a nice little draw supporter, and it has that versatility of like looking at the top card. And then we're getting the Morgan, Dana, Evelyn, and Nita Battle Chantaline Girls set, which will be interesting to say the least. I'm sure Al will try it.
Yep.
And yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm sure Al will try it and win, and it'll only work against me. And I'll be like, "How the hell did you just do that?" And it'll be like, "Yeah, it's a good deck." And I'll be like, "No, it's not though." Yeah.
Well,
It's
look
fine.
what happened
Al
to
doesn't
Double
have raise.
or Granville, sorry.
I don't think it helps Granville, but like,
No, I just meant generally. Like, I'm pretty sure we talked about how Al wanted Granville because he's a good boy.
yeah.
And then you're like that. It's rubbish. It's this. It's that. And yeah, and then look what happened.
No. To be fair, I don't think we ever said Granville was rubbish. I think we said it was a bit awkward to use and kind of
Seemed a bit gimmicky.
Yeah, that kind of because there's been cards that have been printed before with these like 0 energy attacks. Like if Granville didn't have things like Macargon or Angaru, it would be pretty poor. But the support around it really kind of does help it a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good cards for it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so plenty of nice cards to be seen. But for once, for me, it's not all in trainers. A lot of the time, for me, it's like get play sets of each of the trainers, and I'll be a happy guy. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like for now, it's literally just like get some shiny tag teams. You know, see where we go from there.
Yep.
There's nothing crazy out with them that I'm like, I need to have this.
I'm going to make sure I get all the trainers just in case one of them turns out to be Shrine of Punishment.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
I'll definitely be getting as many trainers as I can, but like there's nothing crazy I think in this one that I need to get straight away. I think for me it's gonna be definitely just picking up those tag teams and seeing where we go. But yeah. Anyway, guys, I think that's gonna have to do it for tonight. Pre-release. Only a few days to go. And we'll get the set review. I mean, technically should be next week, but then Al will miss out because I'm guessing Al won't be here next week. So
that's how it'll work out.
Yep. So we'll try and reschedule something. We'll maybe do the set review a little bit late this time or something. I don't know, but we'll need all 4 of us here for the set review. It's important. It's important, guys.
Definitely. Yeah. Who's going to talk about the janky cards if Al's not here?
It'd be a much shorter set review.
Like the 20 minutes you spent trying to figure out how to make Unknown work.
Twice.
Aye, twice exactly.
Well, you've all got that to look forward to. Good night, guys.